Good afternoon and welcome to CGFY Conversations. These conversations are basically about having professionals from the industry and from various fields, and they come and talk and motivate our young viewers and students who are aspiring for great futures. So today we have in our studio Dr. Bhawisha Joshi. To give you a little bit about Dr. Bhawisha Joshi. So she along with her husband Dr. Sachindra Joshi has been in the homeopathic practice for the past 25 years. She's a well-known and globally well-respected and followed teacher and doctor who has contributed to the science at various levels through research, clinical expertise, and 8 books that she has written over the past 2 decades. Her seminars across the world are very popular among doctors of India, Europe, United States, Australia, Russia, and her system and approach in diagnosis is followed by several schools of homeopathic medicine across the world for the past 25 years. Her forte is to understand the patient wholly and completely, not just the disease she treats. Her patients often refer to her as a guide and a healing friend rather than a doctor. Dr. Bhavisha is known as a teacher, motivational speaker, and mentor for young minds in several circles, and her talks and lectures are highly appreciated across all age groups. Both the Joshis believe in empowering their patients so that the patients can help themselves prevent illness and feel in control of their body and mind rather than feel helpless at the hands of the disease and the doctor. It is with this mission in mind that Dr. Bhavisha has done several awareness and health seminars, webinars, and also awareness seminars in India, United States, and with celebrities in Hollywood over the past few years, helping common man to be healthy on their own. In these events, Dr. Bhavisha focuses on giving information on why we fall sick, the role of mind in falling sick, the role of nutrition, how to prevent conditions of diabetes, thyroid issues, dementia, cardiac problems, cancers, etc. How to eat healthy at home, how to eat healthy when you travel or party. So there are lots more still to speak, but I think we'll begin the program, and more of that viewers will get it. So let me
Absolutely.
formally welcome Dr. Bhavisha to the studio. And
Thank you.
first of all, I want to thank you in your extremely busy schedule. I mean, whole day. I mean, she will tell you more about her schedule, but in your schedule to actually take time out and do this interview is something that we all are really thankful to you about. So, the first question that I would like to ask you as a part
Hmm.
of today's conversation is kind of related with one of the observation that I have with my students. Now, a lot of students who are in the age group of 13, 14, 15, 18, etc., they look forward to understanding career journeys of various successful professionals. So, as a successful homeopathic practitioner and so many other things, if you can describe your career journey for all our young viewers, they will learn more about you. Yeah. So if you can just tell your journey.
Okay. So, where I have reached until now?
Yeah, I mean your professional journey in terms of how you started in your and now where you
Oh,
have reached and the kind of work that you have done.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me tell you, I was always very clear that whatever I take up, I want to do it very well, and I want to succeed in it fast, so my growth pace was very clear to me from the beginning. I didn't know what I would pick up and how I would do it, but the goal was always set in my mind. So I started, actually, if I tell you, my husband and I, we started uh, looking at various ventures and avenues right from when we were in the medical college.
Okay.
And so, right out of medical college, while I was in medical college, I was practicing, doing internships with various doctors. So, literally at the age of, I would say, 25, I was already well versed with, organizing events, uh, seeing patients, yeah, handling clinics. So, I was already in practice from the age of 25, and I was already traveling and teaching across the world at
Wow.
that young age. I remember that in Canada, when I first entered Canada to teach, I was actually questioned by the immigration officers several times, because looking at me, they did not expect that this was a doctor and who was invited to Canada to teach. So So that was
Wow.
one of my very first, you know, I would say it's a compliment, yeah, that incident to me. And I have written about, I think by the age of 30, I had written my first book in homeopathy. It was about 6 to 700 pages. It was a bestseller already. And by in the next 10 years, so until now, I have almost finished 9 books,
Wow.
and they're translated into various languages. We have centers across the world in these last 20 years where we travel to treat patients, but also at these centers, there are homeopaths under us who are learning training, and they are seeing patients on a daily basis. So, in that sense, I would say that the career graph academically and monetarily as well, but monetary is not my main focus always in life. But in terms of reaching out to people and academically contributing to the science, it was a very steep curve.
Wow. So, in short, what we can say is that you've got a global homeopathic practice with
Yes,
global centers across various important cities. And along with that, along with treating patients, you have been writing books and teaching. So,
absolutely,
it's like
yes.
a very much like a multitasking kind of a profession that you have been following. Fantastic. And if you have been following a profession which is so much of multitasking, now this question specifically I want to ask because today I see a lot of youngsters. They don't do well in an exam and they feel disappointed, or they just get scared of challenges, or sometimes they get sad or depressed. So I'm sure that in this entire journey of multiple careers, you would have had your fair share of challenges. So if you can tell our viewers how some of your challenges and how you have actually overcome them, it would be very insightful for them.
Okay. So, I will like to actually start. There were, and being a woman, there are more challenges, let me tell
Right,
you.
right, yeah,
But even before that, I would like to start with my very first challenge. See, I actually wanted to be a neurosurgeon, you
yeah.
know, and what happened at the time of my examinations and then the final results is that though I had a very good marks, though I had very good marks, I did not get into the medical colleges, the government medical colleges in Mumbai, and I was getting outside Mumbai. So I had to make a choice between outside Mumbai and the homeopathic college in Mumbai. And initially, I was told that whatever I choose, I will, if I don't choose, whatever, there was some kind of a political issue. So in the choices, it appeared that we made the wrong choice on the application.
Oh,
So I missed out getting into a regular MBBS college, and I had to take up homeopathy. So
okay.
if you look at it at the age of 17, that is a very big setback for a child who wants to, if I take up homeopathy, now I know I cannot take up neurosurgery all my life.
Right.
Yeah. So at 17, you can imagine how heartbroken I might have been. And it wasn't my fault. It was just that the application system, and because it was new in the country at that time, in the city of Bombay, everything was centralized. It was just a mistake that happened because my father and I don't come from a medical background. So we had no clue of the application system. So now, do you think that would stop me? And I decided that's not going to stop me. Whatever it is, I'm going to do my best in the field of medicine that I have taken and I have got into. And
Wow.
so that was my very first, you can say, challenge, you can say failure, you can say opportunity. Because today there are so many other doctors, and I have surgeons who are my patients, psychiatrists who are my patients, pediatricians, neurophysicians who are my patients, because homeopathy also has scope in many things. So
Absolutely.
you always, it's up to you. You have to convert challenges or failures into success.
Absolutely, very well said. And this is a standing example of how a setback, a big setback, has been converted into a huge opportunity and a huge success story. So I'm sure this is going to motivate a lot of our, not only youngsters, but even a lot of us as adults. So thank you for this answer. I mean, it's very motivating. And in the middle of all of this, what do you think is the role of hobbies and interests? I mean, do you get time to pursue your interests and hobbies, and what would you advise? Because I don't see children practicing their hobbies. They get bogged down with studies, etc. So what would you advise them?
Um, so I'll tell you what, hobbies is one of the most important thing that lifts you up, de-stresses you, and also helps you develop as a whole personality. So they are very, very important in life. Yeah. So all my young viewers, and also, there might be others, who want to learn out of my experience, your hobbies, whatever age you get into or whatever age you are at right now, they play a very, very important role, and you must find the time. See, nobody is going to give you the time in the world if you don't grab it. So I always made it a point that whatever I was juggling, I do find that some amount of time. For example, my hobbies are, I love sport. Okay. So I love badminton, I love swimming. Yeah, I love dancing. I'm just crazy about dancing. So, and in fact, had I not been a doctor, I always, there's a joke in my family, I would have been a dancer.
Wow.
So, I have always found, maybe I was in medical college. So, Sachindra and I, in fact, we met on stage because he's also very good with acting, my husband.
Oh,
So, we actually in the medical college met on stage. So, during medical college, and even after that, even today with my conferences or whatever, I always find the time to pursue one of these. You cannot do everything. But if you plan your day well, you will always find the time to pursue that hobby.
wow. And since you are juggling between so many multiple professions and hobbies, in particular dancing, is there any specific advice on how to create that extra time? I mean, how to juggle so many things? Any tips on that?
Yes. So, 1 minute. Before I tell you the tips on that, I'll tell you one very important medical point, which a lot of people do not know. Your hobbies release a lot of serotonin, which is the good hormone. And the good hormone is very important for you to succeed in life.
Wow.
So, your hobby will actually make you succeed more.
Superb. I think this is a very important point and explained by a doctor. I'm sure, I'm sure all our viewers will actually take up to hobbies more seriously now, and more of their parents will take the allow the and enable the children to practice their hobbies.
Yes, I
Yeah.
will tell you that my son, he was preparing for the JEE Advance, yeah, the toughest exam, not only in the country but in the world, yeah, which gets you into IIT. And though it was very difficult in those 2 years for him to pursue his hobby, and we did not push him, he would make his own timetables. But even in those days, whenever there was a free day, I would always sit with him. My husband, we would sit with him. He loves playing the guitar. So we would encourage him, "Okay, for 15 minutes, for half an hour, bring out your guitar and do it." So, hobbies, parents who are viewing this program, please, you do not need to push the child to do 5 hours of hobby, but let them do what they are doing. That will help them succeed in their exams even. Now I come to your point of how do you find the time.
Yeah.
See, I'll tell you one thing which should be a very big take home message for everyone. You have to plan your day. If you do not plan your day, my entire house is full of timetables. The fridge has a cooking timetable, the cook has a timetable of what is to be made, the maids have timetables, me and my husband have our timetables, our son has his own. Timetables make you free. They are not restrictive. They look restrictive because they are in a box. Yeah, you say this time to this time I'm doing this. But actually, when you put things in a box, you find your free time. So my motto in life has always been timetables set me free. And when you have a planned day, you will always find the time for a hobby.
So this is a new takeaway for me. Timetable set you free is very good, and I'm personally going to start making timetables for so many things which I am not making. So this is a very interesting point. Now, talking more about homeopathy, which is your main profession, there are students today who are in their 10th and 11th interested in pursuing medicine as an option, and there are some who want to know more about homeopathy, etc. So, can you tell our viewers what are the main skills and qualities required to be a good homeopathy doctor?
Okay. So I'll also tell you, I'll split it into homeopathy and even regular medicine.
Okay.
Uh, See, the first important thing, which is for both, whether you be a homeopath, a naturopath, or a occupational therapist, physiotherapist, or a proper MBBS doctor or a surgeon, whatever. The field of medicine and paramedicine, let me put it like this,
Right.
nutritionist as well. You have to have compassion, and you have to have the joy from giving someone help or from treating someone. Yeah, so you have to have that connect where you want to give. That's very, very important. See, I see a lot of doctors and a lot of people are making money, and there are a lot of famous doctors as well, but the patient loves to go to a doctor or a therapist who can give them a healing touch. And so that joy should be there in the student, that I enjoy doing a public service. That's one. Second important thing, patience and being non judgmental. See, when you come to a doctor, you come to the doctor and you tell them everything, and you tell them all the wrong things you are doing, right? Now, the doctor has to not be judgmental. Yes, we have to correct the patient. But if we laugh at the patient, or if we are judgmental and we say this is wrong and this is right, the patient is going to walk away. So you want to help them without being judgmental. We all make mistakes. So that's a second very important thing that I do want to say. Don't be judgmental. And patience, of course, you have to have patience, because it's easy to be an engineer, it's easy to be a teacher and earn money. Medicine, remember one thing now, those of you who want to pursue medicine, the money comes a little late, because you have to set into practice, people have to get that faith into you. But if you're enjoying what you're doing and if you have patience, then you will get your money. That's not running anywhere.
So, compassion and patience and wanting to make a real difference to the patient and being non-judgmental. These are some of the qualities, and these things you can only get from a practitioner who has done it all, because you may not find it in a typical textbook. So, this is a point that I think all of us should note. And see, in this
Oh,
world,
and I forgot, sorry,
yeah,
because there are some homeopaths also who
okay,
are
yeah,
listening to me, some young homeopaths. You asked me specifically about homeopathy.
yeah.
I would like to say that homeopathic medicine is going to have it's already very popular, but it's going to have an even more better future. The reason being, most of the diseases today are diseases of lifestyle. They
Mhm.
are diseases of stress. See, earlier there were diseases of infection. Today, the diseases are autoimmune, lifestyle, metabolic, and stress. What does all this mean? That it needs a doctor who looks at the patient individually and not at the disease. He looks at the whole patient. And the one thing about homeopathic medicine is that we look at the patient as a whole. We do not disintegrate the patient, or we do not break him down into head, neck, legs, stomach. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, in that sense, homeopathy has a great scope in the future, and the homeopathic doctor or students pursuing that should also have this holistic view towards the patient.
Yeah, in fact, I was just going to ask my next question, that in today's world of artificial intelligence and IoT and robotics and social media, etc., what will be the future of homeopathy as a profession for all our young friends who are aspiring to be practitioners in the next 5, 10, 15 years? So, what do you see as the scope for them?
What I'm seeing now, when now I'm looking at it as a what I see in practice every day. Yes, you have artificial intelligence, you have various modes of checking and diagnosing a patient, you have all of that. And then you have all these very fancy IT industry options. But people, we are still humans. We are not robots. We are not clones. Hopefully, not yet. Yeah. Uh, because of that, we as humans need a human touch. You understand? What happened during COVID times? Of course, there was artificial intelligence, there were video games, everything was digitalized, everything went online. What did people suffer from? Isolation, loneliness, right? So humans, so long as we have that soul in us, we will need a human touch. So, and that is what is provided by a doctor, even more so by a homeopath.
Right.
Second important thing is, unfortunately, we are also going into a very stressful environment. See, what has happened is there is so much out in the market today. No, there's when we were children, there were few things to buy, so we were less stressed. Today, there's so much more the children need can buy, the parents can afford. So there's always this stress of providing. Have you seen that?
Right.
So we are all caught in this stress of providing, having more. That guy has a better TV than me, that guy has a better car than me, a better fridge, blah blah blah, from Mercs to Teslas to BMWs, God knows what.
Right.
These stresses can harm the human mind and therefore the body. And that's where homeopathy comes, because we help people de-stress.
Wow. Yeah. Which means, homeopathy definitely is an extremely good opportunity and an option for students who are aspiring to have great careers in future. Even today, that option is very much very
Absolutely,
strong.
absolutely.
Great. And one last question before we complete today's show. So, this is the month of March, and now it is like International Women's Month, is what people say as the month of March. So, on this occasion of International Women's Month, what is a specific advice that you would like to give to all our young viewers, girls, boys, and their parents? Some takeaways.
um,
Takeaways more from the point of view of success in their careers.
See, um, the very first thing that I would like to say is, always believe in yourself. Yeah. Uh, we all have our ups and downs. I have had mine. In fact, I started off with my downfall,
Right.
right? But I never gave up on myself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you. So my first thing is, whatever, you know the universe throws at you, you will be able to deal with it, and you will be able to make the most out of it. So always believe in yourself. Second important thing is, always give yourself time to believe in yourself. See, this is something that people don't do. Yeah. What do I mean by this? And this is very important, mind you. You have all these books nowadays and all these courses going on, no, by life coaches and gurus, and success and think and grow rich and become a millionaire, God knows what. The whole idea is to give time to yourself. Even if you have 10 minutes in the day where you are completely by yourself, and then in that time you look at those goals, you look at believing that you will achieve those goals. I always have found in all these 20 years, I call it the me time. And this me time is not listening to music or sleeping or going for a pedicure. No, me time is when I am with myself, looking inwards, seeing my graph, seeing what more do I want, seeing am I happy, what more do I need, what less do I need, where can I, balance things. So give that 10 minutes to believe in yourself, in your goals. That's very important. Third thing, I would say, please balance your time with your gadgets, because what happens with gadgets is they take away a lot of your focus from within, and it goes without. And I see a lot of patients, actually, from children to adults, every age group, having problems because of excessive social media. So I would say, balance your time, make your timetables, I already told you,
Right.
and always find time for hobbies, some pleasure time, just to be with yourself, to be with your family, your friends. So give that little bit of spa time to yourself.
Wow, I think these are golden words. So we're talking about self belief. We're talking about giving time for our beliefs to materialize and being patient through
Yes.
introspection. And we are talking about hobbies. We're talking about
Planning.
planning, yeah, timetables, and timetables set you free. That is what I have also taken with me today. And we are talking about having balancing with the gadgets. I think these are like the 5 points, and I'm sure all of you all will really, and I'm sure the parents will be very happy with the fifth point in particular because they also struggle a lot with that. So I think with this. I'm sure all of you all are going back with something very specific and concrete. And of course, time is a premium, and especially for Dr. Bhavisha, who is so busy, we cannot engage her more right now because she has to go for her next appointment. So, with this, I would like to really thank you for your time and for the excellent advice that you have given to all our young friends and students. And I would like to you all to, in case whatever questions you have today, our program was a little bit of a non-interactive in terms of Q question answers, but we're going to have more programs which are going to be Q&A enabled, etc. So we will do that. But for now, if you have any questions for Dr. Bhavisha Joshi, or if you have any questions on careers, feel free to send a WhatsApp message. I'm just giving you the WhatsApp number. It is 8591650481. I'm repeating the number for any kind of queries for Dr. Bhavisha Joshi or for me on careers or for her on any kind of advice. You can WhatsApp your questions to 8591650481. So with this, I would like to complete this CGFY conversation show with Dr. Bhavisha Joshi. Thank you very much, and we look forward to have more of your interviews and probably some interviews with you and your husband, going forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure meeting all the viewers and especially having this chat with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.